Hello and welcome. Welcome to today's edition of the BoldTrail Academy. Steve and I are here, and we are continuing our series on the BoldTrail Open House.
That's right.
Steve, your thoughts?
Well, on the BoldTrail Academy, there's a great breakdown of exactly the high points on what you need to be aware of when you're in the open house. So I'd ask everyone to go back and review that to start with. And today we're going to cover a little more of the technology on how to use the app and some of its benefits.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Yeah, so before we get started, let's go into the BoldTrail Academy on the school platform. I'll share the link in the description. But what I've done is I put the links to the BoldTrail Open House app, and that's going to be our main focus of discussion today. I put the links for the Apple and for the Google links to the app. So you want to go into the school platform and go ahead and download those. And then while you're there, just give me a quick like. Let me know that you were there. But those are where the links are. And then if you've missed sessions on the BoldTrail Open House, they're right here in the classroom. And I want to point out the script session we did last week. Steve and I have gone in and we have summarized the scripts down here. So we went over them and said, look, it's one thing to have it in a video. Well, let's go ahead and put it into a document. So you guys can copy and paste this, make it your own. Steve, I think this is very valuable.
I've been doing open houses for 30 plus years, and it's been a cornerstone of what I've done through my career.
Yeah.
And I have a pattern. So everything in an open house to me is a script, if you will.
Yeah.
And never have we taken the opportunity to condense it like this. And I'll ask to do one basic thing. If you don't have the time to go listen to it, read the darker bullet points,
Highlights.
1 through 9. And if you just have a basic understanding of those steps,
Yeah.
your open houses are going to change.
Yeah.
You're going to start having conversion, and it'll be a much more effective way to break the ice and be that professional and impress people.
Yeah, much more intentional. And so we were at the Build conference yesterday in LA. Every time I go to Build, it's just, my mind is blown. But at Build, Brent was there and he was the closer on it. And if you ever have had the opportunity to see Brent speak, he's always very emotional, very, from the heart. And one thing that he said that really rang to me is he kept saying, look, simplicity leads to results, complexity leads to failure. He said it several times.
I'll actually build on that. So it really epitomized what we're trying to do here with BoldTrail Academy is we want to be very simple in your approach, because this thing can be a very complex, overwhelming process.
Very much so.
And I'll even say a little shout out to Verl Workman on the Tuesday Mastery. He's touching on how to be very, very powerful and intentional with your database.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to encourage you to be part of the 210 Mastery every Tuesday, Zoom with Brett.live. And everyone's going to find a lot of value there on how to be simple and intentional.
So with that said, I bring that up because I want to point out to you that we're giving you all these different tools to do open houses with, but think about simplicity. What is it that you can do? What is it that you're capable of? What is it that you're comfortable with? Don't feel like you have to go in and build an IDX page. You don't feel that you have to go and do a QR code flyer. Do what you're comfortable with and do it each week that you do the open house, each time you do the open house. And what I would encourage you to do is just try to expand your open house capability so that you do it a little bit better each week. Don't get bogged down in the details. And so Brent's quote that I shared with you really rang to me, and I just want to pass that message on to you. I'm not trying to say you have to do all of these things, but what I am saying is that do what you're comfortable with and try and expand into different areas to just try and do things better. Because at the end of the day, to do an open house, I mean, you're taking an entire Saturday, an entire Sunday, a Friday afternoon. Let's maximize our opportunity. So the recordings are in here, and please go back and watch them. And if you have specific questions for me, you can always reach out. So with that said, I want to jump into our topic this week, which is the BoldTrail Open House app. And so, where is it? Right here. So there it is on the Apple Store and then the Google Play Store. And like I say, they are the links to them. I put it into the community. It's right here. I just posted it today. So you go and you download it. Let me show you what this does for you. And so I think the why behind we would want to use this, I think is important. And I take it in from the perspective of digital domination of your farm. Really wordy description of, hey, let's go in and let's be a specialist in our farm area. So let's go in and we're just going to take a look at listings. And I'm just giving you this as a demonstration. Within the listings, these are all of the MLS listings. And let's go and look at Auburn. So I've done several open houses in Auburn. I've done a number of property booths in Auburn. And so it's really my digital farm. And I'm just going to go in and say matching buyers. And so in this case, I have one matching buyer for this property.
Yeah, and let me tell you guys, this isn't scripted. We're not even looking at these properties. It's the first time Alex has done that. Since his database is robust and it's working, anytime he goes into a property, because of the different areas he's looking for clients, it'll show matching people.
Yeah.
That's the important part about just using this system. And sometimes if you pulled up, let's say if we did Lodi, do you think you'd have any matching buyers?
No.
Yeah, it's because he's intentional with the system.
So we'll look at Roseville, where I've done open houses in Roseville. So you bring this up and you say matching buyers. And so it says I have one matching buyer. And I actually know this gentleman. He's still in the market. He's been in my database for years. But my point is that when you go in and use this and use it to log in your clients from your open house, you start building your database. And then when you have homes come on the market, like let's go in and we'll look for Antelope.
As he's doing that, you guys, I just want to bring to the point, what these actions are is to help you add people to your database. Everything lives and dies in adding people to your database and communicating with them.
So I've done a number of listings in Antelope, and it is one of my digital farms. And because I have all the activity where I've done open houses, I've done property booths. For this property, I have 17 matching buyers. And then if I wanted to go in and I wanted to mass email them all, I could go and do that and then write my message. That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. And so that's the whole point of doing this, is to build your database and get more activity going on. And when I say activity, I'll go back to my dashboard and you can see what's going on. I love Jim. I road bike ride with Jim, and he looked at a property 3 hours ago on the system, emailed him right away, and he's like, scary how quick the response is when you just open the email. So that's kind of cool. And so what I did was I emailed him this listing and he opened it, and then the system identified that he hadn't been on in 14 days. So really cool once you get it set up. So let's get into it. So before you go and do this open house and use the app, there's a couple things you're going to want to do. The most important is you're going to go into your marketing and you're going to turn on the smart campaign for the open house.
Right.
Okay. What this does for you guys, and I'm going to go over here when these load, is that within 4 hours of a lead registering in the open house app, it starts sending emails. So as you're out there picking up your open house signs, wrapping up your open house, doing whatever you're doing, you're communicating with the client.
Let me build on that. The number one thing to do to someone that's entered your open house is just reconnect digitally with them and say thank you. And the app is going to do that automatically because, like Alex says, you're out there sweating your forehead off trying to get the signs picked up, and this system is starting to do the work for you, beginning the process of connecting.
Yeah. And so I want to point out, obviously I do a lot of demos. I'm in the smart campaigns quite a bit. So I have the open house dier. And so I've gone in and I've made this my own. But guys, let's keep it simple. You don't need to do this. You know, these are pre-formatted. So I'm not going to go into mine because I don't want to overwhelm, but I'll go into the version that is provided for you.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you getting in the open house version, the smart campaign right here, 4 hours. This is the text message that's going out. And if you want to view that text message, you go in and say, hi, first name, last name, because it pulls it in from the CRM system. It was a pleasure meeting you at the open house. Feel free to text me anytime, blah, blah, blah. Steve, do you like that messaging?
Well, I think that's fine, but the point is you can actually clone this and make it whatever you'd like. And at this point, I think this would be very acceptable if you just turned it on and let it run.
If you're comfortable going in and redoing the messaging, by all means, go and do it. You can clone it and make it your own.
And on BoldTrail, you will find very short, little concise trainings on how to clone a campaign, but that's not what we're trying to tell you today. We're just trying to tell you to use the system, begin to implement it, because the goal is to add people to your database.
That's right. Don't get bogged down in the details. Keep it simple.
So, remember, what was the saying today?
Yeah.
Complexity kills.
Yeah.
Our complexity kills and simplicity is the key.
Yeah. And so keep it simple. My experience using this platform is in the beginning, it was very complex for me. But as I used it more and more, use it every day, repeat that action, it becomes simpler to use. So we'll look at one more. This is the email sent out on day 1. Thank you for visiting me this weekend at the open house. I would love to answer any questions, yada, yada, yada. Again, if a lot of agents I talk with, they look at this and say, oh, I don't like the messaging. Well, you can go and change it, but just get started with it. That's the message I have for you. Now, you add this to your smart campaigns, and I'll go back to my campaigns. And then the other thing you have to do is turn it on. Just because it's added doesn't mean it's on. So if you look at my status of the campaign, it is turned on. And I'll go back into it just to emphasize why this is important. In here, you have different triggers. And so when a lead registers, like right here this last week, I've had 7 leads come in. One has been get list, which is a smart number. Another one's been distressed property. I've had property boosts come in. And then if I was doing an open house this weekend, this campaign would start when it is open house. So again, I don't want to get into the details of it. It's all pre-formatted. You add this to your smart campaigns and you turn it on and it's going to work. Okay, keep it simple, guys. And so when you go in and add the open house, the Apple screenshots are very self-explanatory. You log in with the same credentials that you log into to get into the CRM.
Yep.
So you don't have to overthink that. You go in and you put in the property address for your open house, and then it registers.
Quick question. The old KV Core app, what do they need to do if they have that? It's not operational anymore, is it?
No, it's not. But in my experience working with several agents, it just transfers over.
Good.
You don't have to download anything. It just transfers over. But really, guys, once you have it on your tablet, I have a tablet that I do open houses with. I log in, I put in the property information, and it registers. And it's really that easy. You can go in and make it mandatory to have phone number, email address, these different categories, very user-friendly. But I think, Steve, what we really need to talk into is how do you get your data
into the open house app. Okay, so a lot of us like laptops at the open houses. So it does have a limitation, and I wouldn't call it a limitation. It's just, it works great on the Apple tablets or your phone. So what we're encouraging you to do is collect that information, either add it right when you complete your open house or sometime during the open house, add their contact in manually is one of the best methods that I'm going to encourage you to do on your phone if you're using a laptop.
So I want to add on to that because when you're doing your open house, we covered it in scripting last week. I thought that was a very powerful session last week. You need to be able to build rapport with people coming in and have them opt in to giving you that information. So within that space, are you instantly, when they walk in the door, do you shove a tablet in front of their face and say, put in your information?
No, I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but Seth Rogen's got a great book. I believe it's Rogen. It's permission-based marketing.
Yeah.
So one of the best things practices is let them know, hey, I'd like to communicate with you. I'd love to stay in touch.
Yeah.
And most people are not going to have the confrontation, say, no, don't communicate with me. They're just going to say, shake their head. But now there's a permission aspect to now the communication happens because you talked about it.
Yeah. We have some agents that have a 8.5 by 11 form that they give to visitors to the open house and have them fill it out. At the bottom, check a box. Do you have permission to communicate? Permission marketing, I'm glad you brought that up. Very valuable. That's what we're all trying to do, is gain that permission. But the real point that I'm trying to focus on is that you want to get the data into the open house app, because when you put it in through the app, it registers the property information and the stats on the property, and then it triggers all kinds of different automations that I won't get into because I'm keeping it simple. But you just want to get it in through the app, registered to that open house. It's up to you in the scripting that you use to be able to get that permission.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to the BoldTrail Academy that Alex just posted about scripting and the things, if you'll pop that back to that one classroom. And here's what I want you to go. These 9 bullet points that we've outlaid for you, if you follow this, you have an extremely high probability that they will provide the information you're looking for because you've done it based on offering value. And then you've done it based on a request that's given, yes, please communicate with me. Now, these people, when you leave the open house and you've got 10, 12 people, if it's a hot open house where you're trying tomorrow or the next day to give them a phone call, is that the best use of your time? We're trying to help you understand technology is going to take your business to the next level, but please follow steps 1 through 9 on the classroom that we just put up, because that is going to be your highest probability. I have found over 30 years of doing hundreds of closings from open houses to get someone's permission, and you win them over based on value.
Yeah, you're trying to convert them. And so, as you can see right here, I was at the build conference yesterday. I didn't do any lead follow-up. I have 31 follow-ups to do today. And all of these follow-ups are based on activity that's going on in my database. And so don't bother me this afternoon because I'm going to be doing my lead follow-up. What really rang through at build yesterday is that we need to call and have discussions.
Yes.
Steve, how's your taco lunch going?
It's I'm having the best time. Friday, or I don't know, was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
I decided to pick up the phone and just call people. And I love tacos. So I started calling the clients and just simply said, hey, I'm on a taco kick. I'm trying out all the restaurants in town and I'm finding some great spots. We've not had a chance to connect. You want to grab some tacos?
And how do you know to call these clients?
Well, I went into my KV core and I started looking for names that I recognized, and it was just that simple.
Yeah.
I just picked up the phone and then I started putting notes in the database. We got a little
Tom's gonna mute himself.
That's right, Tom.
My bad. My apologies.
And so Steve was one of the first that I really dug deep into helping get his database together. 70% of all realtors don't maintain an active database. And so Steve and I, we put his database together. It was a painful experience, I think, maybe a little bit a shot to the ego a little bit.
It is painful, but you guys got to get started.
Yeah.
And let me span this out a year. If you stick with us for 52 weeks, you will know all the aspects of KV Core, from the very basic application to the advanced application. And if you put in 2 people a day, 5 days a week,
Yeah.
out of your phone, collect them all, start to get them on some type of communication. I'm going to tell you, one thing that you're going to be upset with is you're going to find a lot of people have transacted without you.
Yeah.
But next year, you're going to have potentially 100 to 300 people in your database. And if you don't start today, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change this year.
Yeah. I can tell you personally, for me, I have a $1.3 million listing referral that came to me last week from a past client. I have a client I've been working with for over 2 years to get her property listed. It's going to be about $1 million. I have a 4-acre property, 11 units up in Auburn, that the guy is 71 years old, doesn't own a computer, doesn't text. Only I call him, but he's in my database. I have a reminder in there to continually keep in touch with him. He just told me last week that he's going to list in the next 6 months. Those 3 listings, call that $5 million in listings between those 3 properties. All of that is a direct result of being consistent and dedicated to working my database through KV Core.
I'll share a victory. Wednesday, as I was making these taco calls, I actually reached out to one of the clients and she texted back that, hey, I'm not ignoring you. And I was getting auto responses from KV Core because she was on vacation. So I knew this. But she did say, I am interested in changing this year. I will call you next week.
Yeah.
That call very well would have went to another agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, we're in the business of constantly reminding people that we're out here, we're active, and everything that Steve and I are sharing with you and going over with you is solely focused on that activity. Yesterday at Build, Brent showed us his CRM system. Guys, it was a legal pad with a bunch of lines and names and all this stuff, and he built this tremendous business. But Brent yesterday, he thanked me personally for doing this for the organization because he understands the value that we're bringing to the table. And really what we're trying to do is just help you get organized and to use the system, making it simple. And so that's what I have. Not a whole lot of in-depth how it works. I really encourage you to go in, download the app, and just start getting your hands dirty with it. It's not hard to use, you guys.
I'm going to encourage everybody. This is the end of the open house series, or getting close to it. We may have some follow-up messages we'd like to give you, but you guys have the content. You can go back into BoldTrail Academy and you can find out how to really supercharge your open houses and follow the steps. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 30 years, selling hundreds of homes from open houses. This is a very proven path. Adding in now the different AI and technology that we're bringing to the table, 1 year of focusing on your database, you will have, I would guess, anyone could add 10 sales to their business.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
Yeah, yeah. So I just put the link to the BoldTrail Academy from the school platform. I just put it in the chat. It doesn't cost you anything to join. I don't know what my membership is up to. But I don't charge for it. I got 144 members in there, and it's becoming more and more robust. I put the content there so that you have one spot to come in and be able to reference what we're doing. I got the scripting from the last Thursday's event with Colton. Very powerful scripting.
Yeah, big scripting.
Yeah. So it's all in there for you guys. And I'm getting more and more interaction with it, more and more questions. So
well, I'm going to end this with a couple things I'm really encourage you guys to do. Alex is spending hundreds of hours learning this system. He does have some things, if you guys need some additional help, might for a small fee, he'll sit down with you personally and help you get started. And that's the key. Here's, I'm going to give you a bit of homework this week. Download the app, the Open House app, and put yourself in as a contact and run the campaign on yourself so you know
Yeah.
what's going to be experienced by the person coming into your open house.
Yeah.
At that point, you're going to know if you want to have a personal consultation with Alex on how to make a cloned campaign or just get started.
Yeah. Very good point.
What is your the things that you can help people with from a little small fee perspective?
So what I do is I have a $400 to get you set up, get your database loaded in, get smart campaigns set up, get all of your coordinates in there. That's one service I provide. Once you've gone through that and you're interacting with the system, where we really find traction is 21 days to make it a habit.
That's right. I went through it.
21 days to build that momentum. It's $1,500. I sit with you every day for 21 days. We do it in groups of 6. We do it on Zoom, and it is a interactive experience because when one of the 6 people has a question, guaranteed everyone else has the same question.
Or didn't know how to ask the question. So if someone else brings up that valuable bit that you need to learn.
But what it does is that as you use the system and you run into blocks, again, we're trying to make it simple, but at the end of the day, there's some complexity here. I lead you through that. I lead you through that and hold your hand. And at the end of it, you really get some solid traction.
Okay, I think let's do some Q&A.
All right, let me stop this recording and then we'll restart it.